What's up, everyone? Welcome to my show. This is going to be a long video, so what can I tell you? How do I know it's going to be a long video? Because this is the second time I'm trying to make it, and the original time I made it was way over 30 minutes, so be prepared. Yes, Gizmo, talking about it. I did an unboxing. Like I said, unfortunately the video got erased because certain cats, who remain nameless, walked onto the keyboard and hit the magic button, and here he is now walking across. Bad Gizmo. There's a Gizmo. Say hello, Gizmo. Okay. And erased it. So now this is the second time I'm doing this. So unfortunately the unboxing has already been unboxed, but I'm going to show you anyway. Like I said, this is gonna be a long video because there's just a lot of stuff I want to talk about. That, and here he comes again. Gizmo, here, go across, because we can't have this again. I'm not doing it for a third time. Thank you. Anyway, here he comes again. Gizmo, this is the problem. See, he wants to sit on the keyboard, and that's what happened. Go across. I love you, Gizmo, but we're not doing this now. And he'll come back again for a fourth time. But anyway, let's put that aside. The unboxing is good because it's good timing, I guess, because it's going to definitely go into this whole video of, I'm going to show you a lot of examples. I went to a comic book store, I went to a comic book store and I went to a flea market, and we're going to get into it. Let me show you the unboxing first, and then we'll get into the whole thing, then you'll understand why. Alright, got this for a pretty cheap price, I guess, considering. Paid $12 for it, which I was happy with because I've seen them going for 20, 25, even more. This is the lowest I've seen it so far, and that's Justice League Annual #2, which is the first appearance of Vibe. Yay! And of course, every single person on eBay, you know, always the notes, hard to get, rare, Vibe's going to be in the new Flash, you know, TV series, get it now, blah, blah, blah. So I paid $12 for the shipping, which isn't too bad. So, happy to have that. Very cool. Now, where can I put it where the cat can't stand on it? There we go. I'll put it over there. Now, we're going to get into this whole thing. Like I said, it's going to be a long video, so you might want to get beverage, snack. I'll wait. I've waited long enough. Anyway, got a lot of books to show. But one thing I want to get into before I get into this whole thing is some interesting news. Like I said, a lot to talk about. I got a beverage, so I'm good to go. The wife and I got into our first real gigantic, insane fight. Most of the time we just have little tiffs here and there, you know, argument, you know, nothing big. This is the first time we actually had one where it was just like, you know, like, you know, jaw-dropping, like, oh my god. What was it about? About comics, ironically. It's October 12th. And it's coming pretty quick to see if we're going to get a mortgage. October 29th is when we're going to go to the bank. And the wife now has it in her mind that we're not going to get a mortgage. It's not going to happen. You know, just the way our luck is. One of the reasons is she went through all her books, all her stuff to see exactly how much money we have, you know, and everything, how much money we owe, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Our debt to income is way too high. So that's kind of the problem. When you go to a bank trying to get a mortgage, that's one of the major things they look at is your debt-to-income ratio. Ours, when she did the calculations, because she's actually really good at math, it's way, way up there, more than we've had in a while. So now she's like, well, when we didn't have this much, we were able to get 130, you know, from the mortgage, where we never got it. Cat and dog are killing each other. So now that we have even more, she's like, it's not going to happen, you know, so she's flipping out. So what the fight was about is she basically said to me, she's like, you know, you have to sell your comic book collection. I looked at her, I was like, kind of like, you know, I was like, oh, okay, good joke, dear. And she's like, I'm actually serious. And I looked at her, I was like, are you serious? Really serious? She's like, yeah. She goes, that's it. She goes, you know, you have to sell it. She goes, if you sold your collection, we'd be out of debt, we'd be able to get a house, you know, all this stuff, all these things she's listing off. We can get a new car, we can get this. And I just kind of like, I chuckled a little bit. Wasn't trying to laugh at her. But I said to her, I was like, dear, I was like, how much do you think my comic book collection is actually worth? And she kind of looked at me, she's like, I don't know, it's got to be worth something. Sorry, dry mouth. Cotton balls, fur, I don't know, probably fur from the cat. And she's like, it's got to be worth something. And I said to her, I was like, well, yeah. I was like, you know, And she's like, what, it's not worth anything? I was like, not as much as you think it is. It's like, you're thinking we're going to get out of debt, get a house, and buy a new car and all this stuff. I was like, mm-mm. And she's like, well, what is it worth? I was like, well, I kind of sat her down, and I said to her, I said, in fantasy world, I was like, not reality, but fantasy world, I was like, if I was able to sell these books for what they're worth, I was like, if I was to go up to somebody and say, hey, this is worth $500, I want $500, and the person says, all right, here's $500, for whatever, whatever they're worth, like $20 for this, $50 for that. I was like, in fantasy world, I was like, my collection, I would probably guesstimate, as the word goes, about 20 grand, give or take. Give or take, not accurate at all, because I don't know. So she's like, oh, well, at least that's 20,000. I was like, dear, that's in fantasy world. I was like, even if you stay in fantasy world, and I was able to get $20,000 and sold them all on eBay, I was like, then you got to cut it in half because eBay takes a chunk out of it for their kind of commission. Taxes take a chunk out for the government. I was like, so realistically, you're looking about maybe like 5 grand, 8 grand, give or take. And she just kind of like went, are you kidding me? I'm like, no. I was like, now, if you come in reality, the real world, if I have a book that's worth $500, chances are I'm not going to get $500. I was like, I'm going to be lucky if I get $100 to $200 for that book. Then again, you got to cut a chunk of it out for taxes and eBay. I was like, so if you have a $200 book, I was like, you're getting about maybe 100, or maybe a little less, maybe 90. So she got pissed, and she just went off. She's like, I don't understand why you collect this crap. I don't understand why you're getting it. She's never done this before, So this just shows how stressed out she is from this whole house thing, more so than ever. And she's like, I don't understand why you collect stuff if it's worthless. I don't get why you bother spending all this money on these things, and they're not worth anything. It's useless. Blah blah blah. It's just paper. Now to a collector, that's not true, but to someone who's not a collector, then you know how they are. And I said to her, I was like, well, first off, dear, I was like, I thought I explained this a long time ago. I was like, that I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it to get rich off of the comic books. I'd love to, yeah, but I'm not in it for it. I don't purposely go around and be like, I'm going to go buy this book for $1,000 because it's going to be worth $50,000 in 10 years. And again, you don't know. You don't know what's going to be worth anything in half the time. That's what this video is really going to show, just how weird things have gotten. So I said, I was like, I'm open to discuss stuff. I was like, because over the years, back in the day, I did sell a lot of my key issues, which I, not that I regret it, but it had to be done. Like, I had to sell these books because I had to get money for my mom's medication and all this, hospital bills, stuff like that. And, I sold them pretty damn cheap, and, now they're worth, quite a bit of money. But like I said, it was a no-brainer. It's family. It doesn't matter. They're just, even though they mean something to me, in the long run, they're just books. Am I going to let, my family get hurt or something like that if, God forbid, it's like, oh, give me that book or I'm going to shoot somebody. Okay, here's the book. It's a no-brainer. But now, like I said, we got in a huge fight about it. I said to her, I was like, let's see what happens first before you go crazy. And I was like, I'm open to, like I said, discussion of it. I was like, I'm willing, it's going to hurt, but I was like, I'm willing to cut my collection down and sell a lot of it. And, I was like, as long as you leave Spider-Man alone and you leave, my X-Men alone, my Wonder Man, certain things here and there, I was like, then, again, it sucks, but I'm willing to consider selling it, kind of bringing it down, just to try to help. I was like, but again, it's going to take a long time to do all that. I was like, so don't expect it to help now. I was like, it would help later, but it's not going to help right now. So that was the whole thing. We kind of leveled off now, where she's like, I don't know why I went crazy. I was like, well, I get it. I get it. I do. So we're good now, but if you want, throw in the comments below, should I sell my collection? There you go. Discussion. Nice little discussion. But, like I said, we're going to get into this thing, which is just, it blew my mind when I started hearing the reasons for this. Literally blew my mind. I was like, wow. Now, don't take my word for this on this thing. This is rumors. These are rumors. These aren't facts. These are just what I've seen. So, don't go out and be like, I'm going to go buy that because, you said it's worth this much money. I don't know, but I'm going to show you some weird stuff, and hopefully you have it in your collection. If not, if you can get it cheap and you want to, just for argument's sake, or just be like, hey, I have it, go nuts. But this is just stuff that I've seen that just, it just, all right. Now, there's a flea market in my area, about 30, 40 minutes away. Isn't too bad. It's got some cool stuff. They always have this one comic book store that's there. It's like a little alcove kind of thing. The guy always overcharges, but he usually has a lot of stuff that you can't find normally, but he really, really overcharges. And then usually right across the hallway kind of thing is another guy that sells comic books who's actually really reasonable. Most of the time, if I buy anything, I buy it from that guy because his stuff's a lot cheaper. Unfortunately, most of his stuff's always in rough shape. So it's kind of like, a double-edged thing. Like, you're getting it cheap, but you're also paying for what you get, And then sometimes it's scattered throughout, like the actual outside, there's people who are selling comic books here and there. But we're going to go based off of, just everything. And also the comic book store I went to. It's going to be fun. So, like I said, long video because I have a lot to show you. I have one stack here and then another stack to show you. But I'm just going to show you how crazy it is. And again, I'm pointing this out. This is rumors. This isn't fact. Not that I know of anyway. If it's a fact and it's fact, then hey, this is just stuff I heard and the reasoning. We're going to go in this one. This isn't the first appearance of this character. It's just his first miniseries. And because he was announced, this is a fact, he was announced to be in the new Daredevil TV series Season 2. The Punisher miniseries number 1. Now, this I think I got for like $3 a couple years ago. I got the whole run of it, all 4 issues. I think I paid like, it was like $3 an issue or something like that, or $2 an issue. Now, what's interesting is the high-priced flea market guy had this. He wanted $60 for this thing. $60. The guy across the way had it as well. He wanted $30. I'm just like, wow. And of course, the high-priced guy, like I said, he's always high-priced. His stuff is just way out of proportion. Like, it's just like, you got to be kidding me. It's like, you got to be stupid to pay that kind of price for that. Of course, a little sticky note. Going to be appearing in new Daredevil series, blah, blah, blah. Get it now, cheap while you can. Now, at the comic book store, they also had this. They wanted $80 for it. They had it behind their counter, which very rarely do they ever, like, switch out their stuff. Like, it's usually maybe once every couple months. And this is the first time I've seen the entire thing get, like, usually it's like 1 or 2 issues here and there. But their entire set of display cases was swapped out. $80. Just for the fact, this isn't even his first appearance. This is just his first miniseries thing. And I was just like, wow. I think on eBay, if I remember correctly when I looked it up, it was like, I saw it for like $5 or $10, something like that. So again, I mean, it's not a rumor, it's a fact. He's going to be in the show. But just amazing, So be on the lookout for that. You might want to check it out. Now, here's another one. This book was basically considered worthless. Absolutely worthless. Sometimes they gave this away with bowls of soup. And I actually liked the book. I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't go too far. I think I got like the first 10 issues and then I was like done. I'm like, alright, it's kind of getting the same thing over and over again. But like I said, I bought this for cover price back in the day. And that's Night Stalkers number 1. Paid $2.75 for it. Cover price. This is opened. It's probably maybe fine condition or, because it's been read a lot and it's back when I was a kid, Now, the reason I'm showing you this one, again, this is just amazing how things change. How things can just go like... This is another one. It's actually got a dent in it. Well, anyway, this is another one that was at the high-priced comic book flea market guy. I don't know what to call him yet. Let's just call him high-priced flea market. He wanted $100 for an open copy of this. And again, now the reasoning, he had a little sticky note, and I actually talked to the guy about stuff. I talked to all of them. Everybody I went to, I was just like, why is, asking questions. It wasn't being a dick, just asking questions, trying to find the facts of this thing. I said, why do you want, it was $100 for an opened one, and you wanted $200 for an unopened one. I said, why is that so expensive? I was like, I remember, that thing you couldn't give away. He's like, you didn't hear? I'm like, nope. And like I said, most of the time I play stupid, and this time I actually was stupid with it, because I didn't hear any of this. Supposedly, again, another rumor going around, that the Night Stalkers, because originally they were supposed to be getting their own movie. When Blade 3 came out, they were introducing the Night Stalkers. They were going to have a spin-off movie. Never happened because Blade 3 technically bombed. Now, the thing is, supposedly, Now, like I said, this is a rumor. This is what this guy was telling me. And pretty much all three people I talked to had the same exact rumor. So I don't, like I said, I don't know. I don't know. But if you know, let me know in the comments below. Supposedly, they're gonna. Marvel is putting out a supernatural show. I don't know if they're calling it Supernaturals or whatever they're calling it. They might even call it Night Stalkers. I don't know. But supposedly it's supposed to have Blade in it, Hannibal King, Ghost Rider, Werewolf by Night, all these kind of supernatural kind of creatures. And because of the rumored announcement, this is going through the roof. Now, like I said, high price comic book flea market guy. $100, $200 unopened. The guy across the way, I think, wanted $50 for an unopened copy and $75 for, $50 for an open copy and $75 for unopened. The comic book store I went to had this same as, which was amazing for the high price guy, $100, but he wanted $100 from the unopened one and I think $50 for the opened, which I'm probably getting all my stuff mixed up from between the people, but it doesn't really matter. It's the point of the thing. You got to be kidding me! Like I said, this thing was considered worthless. Now on eBay, I didn't get a chance to look at it, so I don't know. I mean, it could be, you could probably get this thing for $1 still. Who knows? But again, it's always funny because you always see like the little sticky notes. But I'm going to try to make a video one day when I go to these things because a lot of times they get kind of enraged when you're trying to make a video. They're like, no cameras, no cameras. But they always have like these little sticky notes around here, like, oh, new show, rumored. And even said rumored new show, blah, blah, blah. But like I said, here's my open copy. It's in probably fine shape. It's got a dent in it, I should notice now. But I also have an unopened copy. There you can see the bag. Well, kind of. It actually has a Ghost Rider like imprint on it, which you really can't see. Now I know you're like, hey, you greedy bastard, why do you have so many copies? When I was a kid and I bought this, I bought two. Bought one to open and read and do whatever, and the other one to stay closed. Because I'm like, you know what? I always wanted one sealed. That's how I was back in the day. And back then, you kind of could afford it. You kind of could. You could kind of afford it. You're like, all right, it's $2. You're spending $5. You're getting 2 copies. Now, let me show you. But wait, there's more. Here's the 2 copies, like I said, open and unopened. But I also have a third. Now you're like, unopened copy. Now you're greedy. How did I get the third one? I went to Five Below a couple years ago and bought one of those 4-packs, you get the 4 comics for $4, and an unopened copy of that was in there. So, there you go. So, if it's worth money, yay. But again, rumors. It's just amazing how movies and TV shows, not even just the fact that they're coming out, but the rumor of the characters coming out or having their own show is making these things go up. According to them. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. That's why I'm saying don't go by just me. Do the research, try to find out, what's going on. I'm trying to find out myself. Okay, Seamus. It's being weird. Here's another one. Another rumor. Sleepwalker #1. It's the first appearance in the origin of Sleepwalker. I think I bought this for like $2 a couple years ago because I needed. This is one of the ones I needed to actually kind of almost complete the run, which I'm only missing I think a couple more issues. But this is another one. He's supposed to be, the rumor is, he's going to be in that Supernatural show or the Night Stalker show at some point. So, again, one that's technically considered worthless is now, crazy. This was, ironically, it was funny, in the expensive flea market guy, he wanted $40 for this. And I didn't see any others except for the comic book store, which did have this in the display case again, with a sticky note, appearance in Daredevil, appearance in Night Stalkers, like all this stuff, like all these things. First appearance of Sleepwalker, and they wanted, I think they wanted $50 for it. I think on eBay you can get it for about $2. So, now, here's another one. This one actually is kind of really going through the roof. Mine's in kind of rough shape, considering I guess mine's probably like a good, maybe very good. This is I always say, if you can't get the first appearance, go for the second appearance. This is the second appearance of the Ghost Rider, Marvel Spotlight #6. Well, the original Ghost Rider, anyway. Now, the high price guy in the flea market did have this. He wanted $200 for this, which his was actually in worse shape than mine. So I was like, wow. I forget what I paid for this. I think I paid like $20 or something weird. And the actual comic store I went to had this as well, and they wanted $100. So it's like, wow. And theirs was actually in better shape. So, But again, whole big thing on this. Rumored Ghost Rider is going to be in this Night Stalker show. He's supposed to be a cameo in the Daredevil season 2 or something like that at the end. I don't know, but this actually on eBay I think is like $30 or $40, give or take. But again, sticking with Ghost Rider, there's another one not considered worthless, but back in the day you could get this pretty cheap. Ghost Rider Volume 2, Number 1, the first appearance of the second Ghost Rider, Dan Ketch. This is the first appearance of Death Watch, I believe, and I have it signed down there by Mark Teixeira. Never say his name right. I got this for $10 in a mall one time. When I started with Ghost Rider back in the day, in the 90s, I started at number 3. Like, I didn't get number 1 or number 2 because it was like, oh, I don't know if I didn't know it was out or whatever. Like, I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool. Let me try that guy. And I could never find number 1. And then when I did find it, most of the time it was like $40, $50. I'm like, that's insane, especially for 90s money. So I was like, I'm not buying that. Then in 2001, I found it at the mall. The guy was selling $10, and mine's in like near mint, perfect shape. It's one of the books, very few books I have. It's actually in really great shape. So I was like, how much you want for it? He's like, oh, $10. I was like, sold. I'll take it. Here's my $10. He's like, well, okay. I didn't even negotiate. I'm like, here you go. Give it to me. But again, there's another one. The flea market guy wanted $250 for this. And the comic book store, they had it graded at a 9.8. They wanted $400. And again, sticky notes. Appearance in Daredevil Season 2. Possible own television show. New movie. And I'm like, oh my god. Which is interesting because the Spirits of Vengeance movie basically killed Ghost Rider. But moving on, here's another one. It's another one they had. This is number 3. This is the first appearance of Blackout. And I have it signed as well. The flea market guy, the high price guy, he usually has most of them. Like, he has more comic books than most of anybody in the flea markets. But like I said, he's always high priced. I think he wanted $75 for this. And the comic book store I went to had this. I think they wanted $40. So, that's crazy. eBay, I think you can get it for like $5. So, if I remember looking it up correctly. Now this one kind of baffles me. I don't know the point of this. There's got to be something to it. I really don't remember reading it. That's kind of bad. I might have to go back in and read it. But this, they were charging an insane amount of money. This is Ghost Rider number 10. I don't know if there's something in here that's maybe worth the money. But the flea market guy, now both flea market guys had them. The high price guy wanted $300 for this. $300. The not so high price guy, he wanted $40, and the comic book store wanted $50. Don't know. I don't know. I've seen this on eBay for about $3. So I don't know. I think maybe they're just getting crazy and they're just marking crap up, insanely because of the possibility of something happening. They're kind of going on the preemptive strike. Now this is another one that was a lot of money. Now, back in the day, sorry, I got to readjust. Back in the day, I had bought this, but I got the second printing because I didn't know the second printing was the second printing. I thought the second printing was the first printing. I didn't know much about first or second printing because I didn't know they existed until later on. This is the original copy. This I got much later. This is Ghost Rider number 15. It glows in the dark. It's got a black cover. This is the first printing. I think I paid like $10 for this, or a little lower, at a Comic-Con. Got it pretty cheap. Now, what's interesting, this is the one I had when I was a kid. I got this at cover price, $1.75. This is the second printing. As you can see, I have it signed. And I was like, I didn't even know, because I remember... Now, the funny thing is, I didn't even know this was a second printing until I got it signed. And the artist, Mark Teixeira, I can never say his name, unless I am saying it right, who knows. He's like, I've never seen that one before. I was like, you never seen that? I was like, you did it. He's like, no. He's like, the one I did was black. And I was like, the one you did was black. And I'm looking, I was like, what? And then this guy in back of me, he's like, that's the second printing. I'm like, it is? He's like, yeah, you can tell because it's gold. And I'm like, no shit. And I was like, damn. I was kind of pissed because I'm like, oh, crap, And the guy's like, oh, the second printing is actually harder to find. I'm like, it is? So I got it signed, like I said. And then, me being greedy, I went on eBay a couple days later and found another copy of it for $1. So there we go. There's a signed copy and an unsigned copy. And then I have the black edition, first printing. Now, why did I put this in there? Again, there's another one that's insanely high priced. The high price guy at the flea market won $100 for this one, and then he had this one. He wanted 50, 150. Now the other guy across the way didn't have it, but one of the random spots that actually had like a guy just selling comics, he had it for 20. He had this one for 20. Didn't have this one. He had this one. Now at the comic book store, they had both. They wanted. Now here's where it comes into play, which is interesting. Like I said, you don't know. They wanted 50 for this one, and they wanted 150 for the second printing. And of course, not just the sticky notes, but also rare second printing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it can't be that rare. Yeah, there you go. So there's that. Like I said, again, that wasn't really worth that much money, but now they're claiming it's worth a lot. Which, again, is all speculation. It's all rumors. It's all who knows what. We're getting down to the lower bed, so I know you're probably like, oh, God, how long is this going to go? I'm just trying to show you a point that just amazing. Like, for the fact, just for rumors. Now, here's another one. Got a sip of beverage first. There's another one that is insanely high priced. And on eBay, you can get it pretty cheap. So, again, this is a typical 90s cover. This is Silver Surfer number 50. Always liked that cover. Don't know why. Just thought it was cool. Now, what's interesting is the high price flea market guy wanted $75 for this. And, of course, he had a little sticky note. Silver Surfer is going to be in, supposedly, here's the rumor thing again. This is what, like I said, when I talk to these people, this is all the stuff they kept telling. But it's just weird how they all repeated the same rumor. Supposedly, he's going to be in the sequel, the Guardians of the Galaxy sequel. Now, who knows? And the other supposed thing is that the next wave of Marvel movies, like the fourth, I don't know what the hell wave they're on, he's going to have his own movie. So, I don't know. But, again, this isn't even the first appearance of the Silver Surfer. This is just number 50. So, it's insane. The high-priced flea market guy was the only guy who actually had this. None the that was actually selling for high price. Actually, the comic store I went to was charging $10 for this, and they had it in the regular bin. I actually made it a mission to go check, for the ones I actually wrote it down. Which, I still have the list. I wrote it down, like all the stuff I saw. I was like, I just want to check just to see this. So, eBay, like I said, I think you can get it like for $5, something like that. Now here's another one that's interesting. This, again, I don't know the whole significance to it, but I got this for cover price, got it for $1 back in the day. It's Silver Surfer number 55. Now, one of the reasons why I think this one is going for some money is because it's an Infinity Gauntlet crossover. Now, a lot of stuff that has to do with Infinity Gauntlet is kind of going, because all the Infinity, War movies and blah, blah, blah. Now, what's interesting about this book is I actually love this one. I've read it so many times. I actually have to try to get a new copy, but I wasn't paying the prices they were asking for. This is actually, this crossover, now, it's not really a spoiler alert, but in the Infinity Gauntlet series, Thanos obviously kills the Marvel Universe, in certain ways. Like, he does this, he does that. In the actual series, he turns Wolverine's adamantium skeleton into rubber. So he's kind of just like flopping on the ground. There's not much you can use. Like, all his bones are rubber. In this spin-off, like this crossover, whatever you want to call it, everybody's killed differently than they are in the Infinity Gauntlet. Like in this one, Wolverine had his head shoved through marble, basically, and snapped. So he's like, hanging out of a wall with his like claws hanging. He's dead. So I don't know if it's more graphic in this because they hung Doctor Strange with his own cape. You can actually see it. That's not in the original. The original just kind of choked him out. In this, they actually hung him by his cape. So I don't know. But what's interesting is the price. This you can get on eBay. I think maybe like $3. I think I saw it. But the high price flea market guy wanted $60 for this, and the comic book store wanted $40. And I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. Again, don't know why. Is it because of the Surfer? Is it because of Thanos? Is it because of Infinity Gauntlet? I don't know. They didn't even have a reasoning for this. It's like, oh well, I think it just went along with the Silver Surfer thing. This is another one that's kind of high priced. I paid cover price for this, which back in the day $250 was still expensive. Another typical 90s cover. Silver Surfer number 75. Kind of like has kind of a chrome, not chrome, but rainbow kind of color to it. High price flea market guy wanted, ironically, $75 for this, and the comic book store wanted $25. I think you can get on eBay for $5. So I'm gonna kind of try to speed this up a little bit because it's already 30 minutes. So, and I still got a lot more to go. Another one. There's another character that's rumored. He was cameoed kind of in the Guardians of the Galaxy, but he's supposed to be in the sequel. He's also supposed to be in the Infinity War at some point, and that's Warlock in the Infinity Watch #1. Now, again, this isn't his first appearance. This is just the new series that came out in the 90s. Flea market guy wanted $200 for this. Comic book store I went to wanted $150. I got it for cover price. I got it for $1.75 back in the day. On eBay, I think you can find it for $5 the most. So again, and of course, little sticky notes on there. Rumored, blah, blah, blah. He's going to be in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Get it now. Now, this character was technically in the Guardians of the Galaxy in a roundabout sort of way. And this thing started to actually pick up some momentum. Nova #1, the first appearance of Nova. You got it. Very cool. Love this one. Got this back in the day for like $5 at the comic book store I used to work at, actually. Again, now it's supposedly in the second Guardians of the Galaxy they actually have this like Nova character, like just one guy, like he's got the helmet on, he's got the powers, not just the core like the Green Lanterns, like the actual Nova guy. But who knows? The price for this thing, the flea market, the two of the flea market guys had it. High price guy had it for $80. The guy across the way had it for $30, and the comic store had it for $50. See how crazy stuff is? Alright, we're on the last leg. I swear the last stuff. Well, there's a couple of them. But again, looks interesting. Now this is fact. This is actual fact about these next couple books. This one is the cameo. This is X Factor #5. This is the cameo of Apocalypse. Now this originally wasn't worth that much, but now that the movie was announced that Apocalypse is the villain, this actually started to gain some momentum. So to get some stuff there. The comic book store I went to was charging $30 for this. Overpriced flea market guy was charging $50. Nobody else had it. I think on eBay you could still get it. I think you can get it for like $10. But if you want to go for it, I would try to get it because again, this is a fact. He is in the movie, but it all depends on how well the movie's going to do. I guess is how well this is going to go. But if you can't afford to get his first appearance, go for his cameo. Now here's another one that went skyrocketed. #6, X Factor, the first appearance of Apocalypse. Wow. Ay. Comic book store wants $150 for this. Flea market guy wanted $250. I think you can get on eBay for $20. I think. Another good one to have though. I guess I'm trying to go through this speed run here. Here's another interesting one. Because this is technically, this wasn't. I guess it's a rumor, but it was announced. I was like, so I don't know if it's really considered a rumor because it was a rumored announcement, but it's supposed to still be happening. I don't know. Supposedly, the rumor goes, this is why this guy was charging so much. This is another book that's basically considered worthless, and now all of a sudden, which is kind of true in a way. Rumor that's true, I guess. I don't know. But again, I'd asked, what's the point of it? Whew. Supposedly, at the end or at some point in the X-Men movie, the new one, the Apocalypse thing, that these characters are going to show up and they're going to get a spin-off movie. And I'm talking about X-Force #1. This isn't even the first appearance of X-Force. This is just their first series. And this is the second printing. This is the gold one. Second printing, which I'll get into. Here's the first printing, which I actually have signed by Rob Liefeld. He signed it across the top. This one's an open copy. I actually opened it in his presence, and I actually put it on there, signed by Rob Liefeld. And there's the bag and back, because like I said, I opened it in front of him. And he's like, what card did you get? I was like, I got cable. He signed the cable card for free. So there's that. Never touched it, it's perfect shape. So very cool. There's that, and I have an unopened copy. Yay. That I think I won from Hero Hunter 81. He had sent it to me. I won this contest. That's where this is from. So unopened. Technically, I would have had two unopened, but like I said, I opened it in his presence. and then I got the second printing. Now, because of the whole rumor thing that they're going to be in this and the whole spin-off and blah blah blah, you know how it goes. This isn't this. Oof, nobody had the second printing, so we're not going to use that as an example. We're going to use this. Insanely high-priced flea market guy wanted $500 for an unopened copy of X-Force #1. $500. I was like, are you? I want to say, like, are you nuts? Like, are you really that crazy? I was like, how do you expect to? You know, I don't know. Maybe he expects to get that. I don't know. He only had an unopened copy. The guy across the way had an unopened and an open copy. The open copy he wanted $20 for, and the unopened he wanted $40. A little more reasonable. But again, this is one of those books you could get like in the dollar bin that nobody wanted. Now all of a sudden, according to them, one of the little character guys that in the flea market area, you know, the little people that sell stuff on top of comics, had an open copy for like $10. He's like, oh, the new movie's gonna come out. They're gonna make the spin-off. You know, blah blah blah. Whole big spiel. The comic book store, they wanted an open copy. They wanted $50, and an unopened they wanted $100. And again, you know, possible new movie. You know, they're in the X-Men. They're gonna have a cameo. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Blah. Now, for all those who like that, here is the first appearance of X-Force, New Mutants #100. This is the first printing. It's like a purple cover, which I didn't know that was the first printing because the one I got originally was the third printing. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that's not the real one. But I have 2 copies, I know I'm greedy, of the actual real one. Now here's another one. Now here's what's funny. Here's what I find interesting. The crazy flea market guy wanted $500 for X-Force #1, but he wanted $200 for the actual first appearance of X-Force. Weird. And the comic book store wanted $100. $100 for this. And it said first appearance of X-Force, new movie possibly, again, yada yada. Now, moving on. Here's another one. This one's starting to get some money behind it. New Mutants Annual #2, which is the first American appearance of Psylocke. Which, again, let's use the comic book. The comic store wanted $100 for this. And it said, you know, she's in the new movie, get it now. Well, it's like she was in X-Men 3, and it sucked. And that's why her thing, now all of a sudden her thing's worth money again. I don't know. Flea market guys didn't have this. You okay, Seamus? He's being weird. So there's that. Now, we're going to get into some other stuff. New Mutants #87, the first appearance of Cable. And yes, it's signed. This one's always been kind of up and down, up and down, up and down. But again, because of the whole rumor that they're going to be in the X-Men movie and possibly get a spin-off, this is starting to gain some money again, too. Comic book store wanted $300 for this. $300. Insane flea market guy wanted $500. I was like, okay. I think you can get on eBay for like, I think the lowest I've ever seen it was like $30. So, there you go. Now, here's another one. This I actually had a couple of copies of, but I sold them. Well, not for nothing, but I sold it at when I had my yard sale, and I sold it to a couple friends of mine. Didn't charge that much. I think I charged like $5 a piece or something like that. Wasn't crazy. This is X-Force #2, the second appearance of Deadpool. I only have 1 copy now. Like I said, I think I had 3 altogether, and I sold it. Yeah, I sold one to my friend, and I sold the other one at the yard sale. So now I just have the 1 copy, which is obviously very fine. This one, another one that's going for a lot of money now because the Deadpool movie's been announced. Well, it was announced, and now it's like full force, blah, blah, blah. In the comic book store, they want $75 for this. Insane flea market guy wanted $150. The guy across the way, I think he wanted $50, and then I saw this again in one of the little flea market areas where the guy had it. I think he wanted $30. eBay, I think you can get it for $20. You might be able to get it cheaper. I remember seeing it for $20. But again, now here's this one. This is where it comes full circle. This is one of the things where it also sparked the argument with the wife. This is a long-ass freaking episode. New Mutants #98, the first appearance of Deadpool. It's also the first appearance of Domino, I believe, and Gideon and all that good stuff. And mine signed. Now, this is insane amount of money. Insane. Even on eBay, insane amounts of money. The lowest I've seen it right now is like $250. That's the lowest I've seen on eBay. I got mine. I think I paid like $20 back in the day or so. I can't remember. I know I paid like really nothing compared to what it is now. Mine's a near mint. Again, mine's signed. Now, one of the things, mine's also a newsstand edition. That's apparently harder to get in better shape. The wife, I showed her how to look stuff up, like how to find prices on comic books. Because I said, if anything ever happens to me, I want to make sure you're getting the money, or at least close to what they're worth. This is how you do it, so that you're not screwed in the long run. And my ghost isn't going, no. She looked this one up, which was interesting, because again, we were in the flea market, we saw the prices. Crazy flea market guy wanted $3,000 for this. $3,000. And the wife started to drool. She's like, oh. She's like, don't you have that? I'm like, yeah. She goes, $3,000. And his was the regular direct-to-comic book store one where it had like Captain America. I was like, mine's also a newsstand. And the guy kind of flinched. He's like, you have a newsstand one? I'm like, yeah. That's hard to get. I'm like, okay. You know? Across the way, the guy didn't have it. Nobody in the flea market had it except for that one guy. But I said, like, $3,000. The comic book store I go to always has a couple of these scattered all the time. A friend of mine just paid $300 at the comic book store for this. He had it on layaway. When I went to the comic book store, they had one. It was the comic book edition, not the newsstand one. And they wanted $800. And of course, little sticky thing. Deadpool movie's coming out. Get it now. $800. We looked on eBay. Like I said, this is what sparked the whole thing. Like, the wife got this whole thing in her head. Like, oh my god, he's actually got something that's worth money. Which is funny because my Chrome edition of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 300, is actually worth more. Technically. She looks on eBay and she goes through. She's like, oh my god. One guy on eBay was selling the comic book, the direct-to-comic book store edition. He wanted $2,000. Another guy had one for $1,000. There was one for $1,500. There was one that was grade 9.8 for $15,000. And every single thing on there, new movie coming out, new movie, blah blah blah. So I was like, you could sell that. I'm like, dear, you're not gonna get that. And if you did, you're gonna have to wait till the movie's just about to come out, like maybe a month before, and try to sell it then. But that's insane. $3,000, $15,000 for this book, which originally was $1 back in the 90s. $1. Now, the other thing that's interesting is, of course, like I said, the wife got drooled, is mine, like I said, is a newsstand copy, but it's also signed by Liefeld. So, who knows what mine's actually worth. But that's going to do it. Like I said, long-ass video. I apologize, but it was a lot to get off my chest. Comment below how you think prices are, or any of these rumors are actually true. If you know about it, let me know. Like I said, most of these are just rumors that these people were telling me, which I can't find much of anything on it, so I don't know. Take it as is. I just found, like I said, these basically was a video just that blew my mind, the amount of prices people were charging because of rumors. Just rumors. I can only imagine what they'd go for if they were fact. But like I said, let me know in the comments below. Comment away. Should I sell my collection? Should I do this? Should I do that? Whatever. I'd love to hear from you. I want to hear these comments. I want to read them. And hopefully, if they're all ones would say, don't sell your collection, I'll show the wife. Be like, hey, look, they don't want me to sell it either. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, I won't have to worry about it ever if we actually do get a house, because then she's kind of be like, okay, whatever. But we'll see. I hope you enjoyed this video. I figured, what the hell, make a good one, really long one. I haven't made that long in a long time. But I'm rambling. I'm going to go now. Remember, everyone, it's not the size of your cave that matters. It's what you have in it. And if you watch this entire thing, then thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, that'll do it. Later, everybody.